Yeah, man. Chai
You're a
tea.
tea drinker?
Yeah.
You mess with that coffee?
I do, man, but you know what? I get caffeine headaches on that shit. It's a little too hard for me. So like it's so hard that like my body gets used to it, and then if I don't, I get a headache. So I'm trying to like wean off of it with tea.
Mm.
Yeah.
Try and bring that mic a little closer. No, just bring the mic. I'm not gonna make
Cool,
you.
cool,
You
cool.
seem like you're chiller.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. How about that?
Perfect.
Cool.
Yeah, you're all good. Yeah, man.
Nice.
Dude, I'm like a coffee addict, man. It's like 5 in the day, and I'm still fucking drinking coffee, dude. Like,
What if you stop? Do you get a headache?
I'm 100% addicted.
Okay.
Like,
so you're not even gonna find out.
huh?
You're never gonna find out.
Oh, I don't want to find out.
yeah.
I'm like, even I'm so healthy that I'll give, and I'll still put sugar in my coffee. Like, it's just like the one thing I don't ever want to just give up.
I feel you.
But anyways, guys, welcome back to That's the Angle, and I am joined here with Chris Pyrate. He is a local DC artist, or not even local. You're from DC, right?
Yeah, originally from DC. Yep.
Are you living here now?
Kinda. Right.
Kinda.
I'm in between. I'm typically in between. And by the way, it's pirate.
Oh, you know, I thought about that.
Yeah.
Pirate, not pyrite.
Yeah. I never correct it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess since we're on a podcast, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, for those that wonder, it's just spelled funny because it has a Y.
I was about to say, why did you put an A in there?
Nah. Oh, you mean P-Y? Because that's how you spell pirate, you know? It's still...
It's R-A-T-E?
Yep.
I'm sorry, I should have looked at that more.
No, but everybody does it, you know?
Pirate.
Yeah. But yeah. I'm originally from DC, born in DC, raised kind of like in between DC, like PG to New Mexico and LA.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Because I spoke to you at the pop-up we had over here the other day, and I knew about you before then. Even before I knew you knew Reef, I had seen your art. I had seen it. It's very iconic. It's very unique. And so it was just really dope to meet you. And then you were like, yeah, man, I'm between here, LA, and New York. And I was like, what the hell? I was like, this man's actually doing it.
Yeah, well, not LA. I lived in LA for a part of my high school, but it's New Mexico, which I mean, my Miami, right? Which to me is like the East Coast LA, right? So that's how I see it.
Mm-hmm. And so that's like where you are actually living.
So last place I had a long-term residency, right, was Miami.
Mm-hmm.
I actually eventually opened a store and had a apartment right behind it.
Oh, dope.
So yeah, it was fire, bro. But because it was a place that I didn't really have much of a base in yet. Like if I had that set up here, knowing all the people I know, that place would be fucking crazy. I would never be able to close it. Like I closed it there because I kind of did that on a whim. I just needed a studio, and I was moving out of a bigger house I had.
Mm-hmm.
So I was downsizing, so I went to like a studio apartment. I needed a studio too.
Yeah.
So there was a storefront in front of it. So I rented that. Yeah. So, but like the landlord ended up asking me to open it because he's like, basically what happened is I got sucked into a gentrification project and like became a mural director and art director. Yeah.
And you were just trying to find somewhere to operate out of.
Exactly. He's like, open that thing, man. We've been waiting for an artist like you. You know what I mean?
My God.
Like all this pressure.
You got this dope, it's like dope, cheap rent. And you're like, oh, wait, what? I got to actually be a storefront?
Yeah, exactly. So like the thing is, there was so much pressure. And if I had resources like I have here or even New York, just knowing so many creatives, right, I would have been able to like do so much with that space. But like I was put into a position, and what I've learned as being a creative, especially if you're going to be an art director or something like that, like a lot comes down to community. You know what I mean? And I had no community at the time.
Dude, it's so important.
Right. So I had none in Miami, but from that position, I kind of was forced to get one.
Mm-hmm.
But the pressure, I ended up having some other things happen, and the pressure just made it burst. But now, luckily, I still have that community in Miami.
Yeah, because I mean, a storefront's a lot of pressure. It's like the rent pressure, you know. And I've never been in that situation, but I know that's the entire pressure, especially if it's in Miami. It's like, oh shit! It's like that shit ain't cheap, man.
And I had two rents, 2 waters, 2 electricities right by each other. Yeah.
How long did that last?
8 months.
8 months. Hey, that's not a bad run, man. I'd have been done in like a month.
Especially, being that I didn't plan it.
Exactly.
Right? So, and I didn't even want it. So, like, 8 months is long, man.
Yeah.
And I could have gone longer. I chose to just cold turkey, just cut everything.
Really?
Everything. I broke both my leases. I just changed. I wouldn't like.
So you're just like escaping Azkaban right now in DC. you got dudes coming after you in Florida or in Miami right now.
You know what's funny? That was actually last. That was last. I want to say November. I did that. Was September, right? And the first thing I did that was kind of like in my I don't know if you call it a rebrand or whatever, but my new direction in life was to do a mural here in DC for Silver Springs for a store opening. So what I looked at everything and was just like I think I'm supposed to be back closer to home.
Really?
Yeah.
Like you had that gut while you were out there, like gut feeling.
Well, I'll be honest. I lost a couple people in my life, right? And so around that time, it's like I lost a couple people, and the people in Miami who were like this whole community of landlords and property owners and all this pressure that was on me because I became the art director of this project, and they kind of were insensitive to what was happening in my personal life.
Dang.
Yeah, and the problem was my landlord is also a gallery artist in the Miami scene, which is why I kind of got sucked in that situation. I'm just trying to get a place.
He knew.
He knew. Yeah, he knew. So, but he's also the guy who put together the gentrification project.
Oh.
So it's like when I would go back to my spot, which my house is right behind it, he's also the landlord to the apartment.
Oh my God.
I couldn't escape it, bro.
Dang.
Like, yeah, so it's like I had we had meetings every Monday. Then like then he would come and have a second meeting with me personally. Then when I'm supposed to be paying, then
do you feel like he was like using you or something? I mean, and not even giving you a fat discount on the rent, like
and that's the problem, right? And so like, I eventually your worth, right? Eventually, I started to play the game. I knew my worth, and I'm like, this guy's. You're not gonna ask me of so much, and then think I'm just gonna like mend on all fronts. So, but that's when when it got to a point where he wasn't receptive. He would bend, I would bend, bend. We both wanted things from each other. But when it got to a point where like I had lost someone to actual death, right? And then
was it family? Do you want me asking?
Yeah. It's my grandfather who was like taught me how to drive, taught me how to do everything. You know what I mean?
Was he like your father figure?
He was pretty much when I went to the West Coast, I lived with my actual father's family. But when I was in the East Coast, he's my basically my father figure. So and it wasn't just losing him. To really, what it was that I was so far away when I lost him, right? And
you can't even. Yeah, you don't have that moment.
And he was when I found out he was passing or sick on Instagram.
What?
Yeah.
How does no one tell you?
Bro, it's one of those things where like I wasn't the most how I say I wasn't the most straight and narrow kid.
Yeah.
Right? So most of my relationship with my grandfather bonding was like when I was like suspended and stuff. And my mom was like, yo, you're spending like suspension with your granddad, thinking it's punishment. And like he taught me how to play pool. He taught me so much stuff about life. He would take me on his daily routine,
Try to be a man in a weird way. Like, man, teach you play pool. That's a man shit.
And he's like has me driving his caddy, you know what I mean? When I'm not supposed to be driving and stuff like that. So so what I'm getting at is nobody knew how close we were. Nobody was ever around. You see what I mean? And the only person who knew how close we were, I lost her from how I reacted to it all.
Oh,
yeah.
Damn,
So
dang.
Yeah, bro.
Times like that are just rough because it's hard to know how to operate because you're so emotionally unstable. And like I've been at those places and it's like the center, this thing that you really cared about. And sometimes you might not even know how much you cared until it's gone.
100%.
And when you're in a place that's so far away from home, it's like you're just so disconnected and all you want to do is be there.
Yeah.
You know?
That's one. And then, the thing is, I tried to go, but I had 2 rents, 2 electrics, 2 waters.
Oh, shit.
Right?
So what do? It's like.
And I'm not opening the store because I'm going through a lot. I kind of I will close it like a certain amount of days a week, and it would be a studio for me. Right, studio days and then the store days, and I shut down. I wasn't opening, right? So also I'm just spending money at this point. And then I'm trying to spend money on the plane ticket last minute. And
It's just a lot. You're pulling from every direction.
and bro, you don't know how many things. I had an opportunity to be a part of a coach campaign, right?
What?
That I didn't give a shit about, bro. Can I curse?
Oh, dude, you can say what the fuck you want,
Okay,
man.
cool. Shit, fuck them.
Hell yeah, man. You can get it all out, bro. It's like the radio 7 deadly things. It's like shit, damn, fuck, cunt, pussy. I just said them all almost right. I mean, anyways.
You know? Yeah, but
What about this coach campaign? What?
yeah. So no. Basically, I didn't even care about it, bro. Right? I only cared about it because I found I was in New York, and I'm like, oh, I can go home.
Oh shit. That's
You know what I
to get
mean?
Home.
And so like I was like, they favored me and everything, but the problem is they needed a New York-based artist.
Oh.
And everybody had known me as being a New York based because before I went to Miami, I was in Brooklyn for like 6 years.
Oh whoa.
Right.
Yeah,
So the model agency, I was booked through a modeling agency even though I wasn't a model, right? It was more about, they get the castings.
Just connection. It's like, oh yeah, we know an artist.
Exactly. So and they wanted me and everything like that. But what happened was there's an article written in the Miami New Times about this Brooklyn artist moved to Miami and opened a store.
Oh shit.
And like when you Google me at the time, that's the first thing that popped up. So I'm like, I'm talking to the modeling agency where like use my boy's studio address in the Bronx. And this. We're just figuring it out how to like we're
how to finesse it at this point. You want that?
Yeah, and we're trying to like because they want it too because that's how they get paid.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. They didn't have another artist. They're a modeling agency. They just knew me.
But they just needed someone from Brooklyn.
Yeah, and they know me. You know what I mean. So it's like, oh, Chris, like, and they get paid if I get booked, and they don't have a second option, right? So like, and they really wanted me, right?
Yeah.
The problem. So long story short, I didn't care about it. It's wild because I look back and I'm like, yo, that was a coach campaign. At the time, it was a ticket closer to home.
I mean, for someone like me, I look at it just as it's a coach campaign. But when you're going through that, you're like, no, that's just a way.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, and I had kind of promised all my people that, like, that were kind of like worried about me, right? Especially I had a special person that was really worried about me, and she kind of knew what it would take for me to get through it, and she was worried that I wasn't really dealing with it right, and because on my end I'm like, I can't deal with it until I get up there.
Yeah.
Right. So like, and he was still sick at this time. He wasn't dead yet. So
okay.
So I'm just like, yo, I gotta get up there. So I'm like,
you kind of know.
Yeah, and exactly. And I knew that if I didn't, I was self-destruct, bro. I knew it.
Yeah, because you know in those moments, it's like, all right, he's going. Mm-hmm. I gotta get there.
Mm-hmm. And part of it was like, I need to see my family to vent for me finding on Instagram. It was a couple things. I need to see my grandfather.
Facts.
I need to be mad at my family in person. And then I need to see the significant other who knows how to make me feel better about it all. Right? So it's like, and I knew that, all right, how my mind works, I think in patterns, bro. That's kind of like, you can see that through the artwork, right?
Yeah, very much.
So I kind of knew the pattern of like priority of this list I have to hit. And I knew that as time ticks, some of those become less possible. And I'm like, yo, like at the least, if it all fails, I gotta go see this person because she'll at least make me feel better.
Yeah, nothing happens, like this one thing.
Yeah, and like, long story short, coach found out I was in Miami because of the article.
Of course.
And all kinds of just things happen, bro. Checks bounce from clients. All kinds of things.
Shit was just coming down.
Yeah, so you know what, bro? Like, and then the way I reacted to it all, I lost track of time. And I'm, already one day here versus one day here is like 4 days in Miami. Like, you just go to sleep and wake back up, bro. And it's like another, like.
What do you mean? Wait, 1 day here is 4 days in Miami.
Like, how I say that is like, or is it the opposite? I'm trying to think. I may be saying
so. Like you do more in Miami than you do here.
So in Miami, your day is longer,
mm-hmm.
right? Because it feels like the sun's up longer. Maybe because you want to be in it, right?
True.
So you like, I like we were talking about this before. I think the cameras were rolling, but the freelance schedule, you stay up mad late and like your time's off, right?
We're screwed, dude.
Right?
People think we're so weird because of our sleeping schedules, man.
It's true. So in Miami, it helps you avoid that because like you want to. There's two Miamis. When the sun's up and when the sun's down. Still daytime, either way. That's the thing. You get what I mean?
So which one were you there?
So Both, bro.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, and you kind of want a little of both. So like, cause it's the Miami's still awake at night. It's just different, and it's cooler. It's the sun's not up, so
It feels nice to be outside.
Exactly. So certain people are more active at night, or you're doing both. So you take a nap in midday and you go.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Because
Yeah.
around here, it's like everyone just shuts down at 7.
Right,
It's
right.
like they go sleep at 7 and wake up the next day. In Miami, it's like some people are just getting up at 7.
Hey,
The
your day
nightlife's
kind of like
active.
it feels like a long day over like 4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
So
day like ends early here. It's like, oh,
exactly. And so it's like a strict day night here, even in New York.
I
but
can
like,
see that. You get lost in like the slowness of it all or something.
yeah. So in Miami, bro, it's like they blur into each other,
Mm.
right? So put it like this: when that shit happened, like, bro, like I didn't realize I went without talking to people for like 2 weeks,
Oh, dang.
almost 2 weeks. You know what
People
I mean?
in Miami or people here?
People here, and like people I really needed. Bro.
And you were in Miami this whole time.
Yeah, I was in Miami when it was happening, but because like I'm like I made so many promises, like I'm coming tomorrow, I'm trying to put checks in, they're balancing things and that, and I don't want to. You get tired of telling the same sad story, bro. Feels like the boy cries wolf, right?
Yeah.
So I just stopped telling it, and so I started to like. What I realized now, looking back, I'm like, yo, bro, I never thought I could be depressed.
Dang. Until you were there.
Like I hadn't. Because of the type of childhood I had bouncing around the city and all this stuff, I had learned to like be cool being by myself.
It seems like that was like a very important thing though.
Mhm,
Like,
mhm.
I mean, I don't know where you are in that process of like dealing with it all. I mean, you're here, so it seems like you're definitely trying to like make it better, like reconnect with that person maybe you were talking to.
Nah. But
Okay, well, maybe not.
Yeah,
Fuck
but
it.
you know what? Like I don't even know what to say about that one, bro. But
Yeah,
like,
no, we don't gotta go there.
No. I mean, it's not even that. It's just that like I hadn't thought about that till you said that because like at a point I definitely had to let this person know like no matter what
Yeah.
that like yo you're like important, mad important.
Yeah.
I may have dropped the ball. That's me or that's life, right?
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything I could have done about that situation. But look, thank you for being that, right? And yo, just know how important you are so you can go take that into the rest of your life. Don't feel undervalued because I shut down. You know what I mean? Don't question that, right? Like, so at a point, so I felt like I did at a point, yeah, I did have to come and like at least show like, yo, the importance, right? Because like me be shutting down made certain people feel like they weren't important.
Yeah, but even the whole Miami chapter, I don't know if it's closed or not. I'm sure you don't want to go back there.
I'm heading there in like a week.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
You're gonna go see the landlord?
Nah. Oh, you know what? I might. Probably will see him.
Like, look, bro, you stress me the fuck out.
Yeah, straight up.
Freaking killing me.
You know, I just did my biggest mural down there for Basel, and
No way.
Yeah. Those people, they watch everything I do. I don't know. Some of them
They see you on the Instagram. They see you, your headlines, whatever it is.
exactly. So they're, Miami's a different animal. Nobody really holds grudges out that place.
Yeah, I saw that you're on your Instagram, of course, through my deep research. Not really research that crazy, but you're actually trying to do some more shit back in DC now.
Yo, and that's why when you were like, reconnect with that person, I got like that did happen in the sense that I just wanted to show like, look, importance, right?
Mm-hmm.
But bigger than that, right? It was just that what I saw in the whole grand scheme, because it didn't start with that person. It started with my grandfather. Bro. But what the common denominator of all, how I had to look at it and just say, none of this would have happened if I had business back home. Anytime I need a check or to fly to New York, desperation, I can like get a gig.
Really?
Yeah, in New York.
So that's slick. So, I mean, I don't know if people know on this, watching this, know you or listening know you enough, but you're a full-time professional artist.
Oh, yeah.
That's impressive as fuck, man.
Well, it's kind of like I forced it. You know what I mean?
I mean, how else are you going to make it happen?
Yeah, exactly. Good. And that's the way you got to look at it, bro. Yeah.
You can't just wait around sitting on your hands for that shit. It's like...
You got to put yourself in a bad position to where, like, I have to make this work.
Really? So did you do that? Like
oh, I mean, like...
Consciously?
Yo, bro. So, the funny thing is, when I was growing up, when I was like, I want to say 18 or something like that, as soon as I could get a tattoo, right? I got a tattoo on my neck that said ambition, right?
Damn.
And everybody's like, yo, you got Amber tattooed on you. Who is this girl? And I'm like, my hair would get in the way, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's ambitions. But I got it and I said, yo, nobody will hire me when I get this tattoo, right?
That's a rapper move right there.
Well, yeah, I did it on purpose, right? I was like, and I have to see it every day when I look in the mirror. And the reason why you don't see it anymore, like I covered it with my Miami. I have palm leaves coming down now because that's like kind of like now I evolved. Ambition took me to a certain place, but then it got me in trouble.
Oh shit!
Because like ambition took over my life, which is kind of like
ambition to succeed was like what were you like slinging or something?
No, it's just that I never. You know what? People told me I never smelled the roses, bro. You know what I mean?
Really?
Like, I never really like. Bro, I've done this. There's so much shit that people have no clue I did.
It's ironic considering how you paint her flowers.
Wow. You know what? The flowers kind of came out of a lot of the turmoil and shit.
Really?
Yeah.
It's very like happy, optimistic thing to do.
Yeah, that's funny you say that, man. Yeah, you know, like that's why like sometimes like I know people are like, oh, like some of this stuff touchy subjects. I think like a lot of this shit has to be talked about, bro, because it's not enough like good stories about loss. You know what I mean?
But loss is also what drives people, man. Like you need loss to appreciate what you have.
There you go. You know it, but like so many people glamorize attachment and like they ignore detachment. That like it's scary, bro. You know what I mean? Like who's like breakups are always sad. Death is always sad, right? Like losing anything that's worth something is always sad. Like, but that person lived on, and I'm sure they were happy at some point again. Nobody talks about that. Like, that's probably why. You don't think that, like, sometimes that freedom of losing something that you're attached to opens your life up, G. Like, and like, so.
It can open your eyes sometimes, too.
100%. And just like, sometimes you limit yourself for things you love. You know what I mean? And, cause there's always like, anything you love, anything, bro, whether it's even a fucking dog, right? There's a sacrifice. Like you got to go walk that thing every day.
Everything, every choice, there's some sacrifice to it.
Exactly. So like like a dog kind of keeps people prisoner, like unless they can afford a dog walker.
Dude, dogs are that's the best way to put it. They're like mini prison guards, dude.
Yo, straight up,
right?
Straight up.
Like you got to do this at this time. You're gonna feed me at this time. Like
exactly.
It's like who's the prison guard? Who's the inmate here?
Exactly. And the dogs, treat it like heaven. But like that's why I say dog, because like people don't think that they're thinking like a boyfriend, girlfriend, or this and that. Like no, it's down to this most simplest thing. Like if you love it, you're probably bending some of your life to keep it around you, right? Like even if you love like a certain like a Gucci bag or something, right? And it's mad small. Right. Sometimes you're probably like leaving stuff at home because you can't fit it, but you're like, yo, I want this bag.
That's really interesting. I never thought about things like that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You play that video game, so you don't do this because you spend that 30 minutes doing that.
There you go. So like sometimes I think in everybody's life all the time, we're losing things that's allowing other things to come in our life. I just don't think that shit's glorified. I think we glorify receiving things. We don't glorify letting it go.
Really?
But I think it happens to everybody, and it's a good thing for everybody constantly. I think it's an ebb and flow. You know what I mean?
It's like shedding in a weird way. Like you let things go to go forward.
Exactly.
Or whatever that letting go process is, it gets you ready for whatever's next in a way.
Right, bro.
You know?
Right. Which was like, so I had to let my grandfather go. Right? Like we're like, I had to let the people go that like I caused. So some of them I was able to reconnect with, right? But like I caused distance with. You know what I mean? From how I reacted, I had to let them go. And the way I looked at it, I had to let go my apartment and my store.
Dang.
Because I was like, yo, like...
Which is like interesting to think about because as an artist, that's a big deal. Like that's a look, you know?
It is.
I've got a spot and a storefront.
In Miami.
In Miami.
And I'm from here. You know what I mean? Who does that? You know
yeah,
what I mean?
like he made it out.
Yeah.
New York, Miami has a spot. It's like, yo, he's set.
Yeah.
But it's like really, it's like you don't see it. But do you feel like maybe, like, are you worried about how that looks? Like, because I guess in some way, some people will be like, yo, that looks like you failed. But in actuality, I mean, sitting here, I don't think that. But did you ever feel that?
Not with that, but that's a good point because, I just did that conference.
Yeah.
And certain people remember me from when I did music back in the day. And they were asking me about, I couldn't believe that shit, right?
Shit.
Because at one point, I had that with that, where people were like,
You fail at it.
I ran from it, bro.
Exactly.
That's why I went to New York because people would not let me live it down.
That was probably like a bad way to put it, but
yeah. Well, no, it's true because like that time, see, at least luckily enough, all my people who would have felt that way were in DC. So they didn't really feel attached to the Miami store. But like, they felt attached to Model Citizens, the band I had back then. And
Oh, because that's all they knew.
Right? So when I tried to drop that and I said I'm going to do just visual art, people thought I was psycho.
You're not
an
artist. You're a musician. What are you doing?
And now, I sit back now and I'm like, I ran from that ghost to that situation for a while. And I'm like, no, it's funny. Nobody even remembers that now. Everybody knows me. But then when I went to the panel, people are like, why don't you do music anymore? I'm like,
that's
yo,
crazy.
what?
You're like, shut up.
yeah.
Dude, that's funny. I actually came from the same background. I did music my entire life. I was working at a professional audio engineering studio, and I ran from it essentially. Like when I left all that in Richmond, and I just like started over.
Oh, Richmond. Yeah. Richmond's a dope scene too. By the way, I should have done this before I came. Can I use the bathroom?
What? In the middle of this?
In the middle, man. How do I do it?
All right, it's fine. Luckily, we're not live, so
okay.
I guess just go take a piss, and I'll chat, or I'll just edit this shit out.
Or like I'll look really lame because I walk in and everybody's sitting there like, oh, we gotta wait. And I come back.
No, it's cool. I don't just post. I'll edit it out. Don't worry.
Awesome. You're like good with like off the whim, you know.
Oh wait, did you check out any of my other podcast stuff?
I just checked out the one with Dang, I just met him.
Oh, Dio.
Yeah.
Dio. Yeah,
he's dope.
It's a hard name to remember. Even harder to remember how to say.
Yeah, I met him maybe like a week ago.
Yeah, cool dude. He's doing big things. Yeah, but thanks, man. Chill, dude. I've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
Remember I was saying I used to do music.
Yeah.
Back in college, just have a radio show, and I used to interview DJs. And so I would just have them in every Friday. I wouldn't go out. I'd stay and do a radio show for the whole college campus and everyone local. And I would like interview DJs, and they would just do mixes.
That's sick.
So that's like how I cut my teeth doing this shit.
That's sick.
That's how I even know how to do all this stuff.
Because you like when I didn't even know you did a podcast. I heard your podcast before I met you.
Really?
You know? Yeah, I was in here. I was playing with my embroidery machine I brought, and I was with Reef and those guys, and like they were just listening to it, and I'm like, yo, is this Dio? And they were like, yeah, and they were like, yeah, it's him and Bruce, and like I'm like, oh, that's dope. So I just listened to it. I remember I even got like the speaker and I brought it over because I was laying down. I brought it over, so I could hear it. Like it's dope, man. It's fluid convo.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that's why I love podcasts. It's a conversation as opposed to some like weird thing where I'm just like riffing off questions like and then like it's like you don't listen at all. Then you go, okay, next question. It's like,
oh yeah.
You know, I hate when people do that
because they already know. It's just people asking stuff they already know, but they're just doing it for the listener.
I think people are sick of that shit too.
Yeah, I agree.
I think people want to hear like real shit. Like, what is it? News interviews are not real interviews. It's just a navigated conversation that they're just taking you down.
Yeah, and they cut a lot. Like I had to do that shit recently in New York, and like they cut so much stuff out of you. Like I did a mural. They got a lot of coverage, and so like, and I had to schedule the interviews, right? So they cut so much out, bro, that it's like. You don't even. It's like you're watching the interview for the first time when you watch it.
You're like,
you never know what's going to be.
What's my response to this question?
You're like, it doesn't matter what you said. You never know how that interview is going to be.
That's awkward, dude.
Yeah,
that's super awkward.
It is.
Dude. So what's the meaning of the pyramid? Is that like Illuminati?
Oh yeah, I'm in the Illuminati, man.
Are you a super conspiracy theorist?
No, I'm in the Illuminati. They just didn't get me to the point where I'm rich.
Oh, dang, man.
I know, man. It's like,
they beam me up too?
I'm an Illuminati intern.
That's fucked up. Why was that 10K in the mail for that studio front? Shit.
Yeah, see? You know what I mean?
Illuminati intern?
I'm an intern, bro.
Where's the application?
They don't even pay the interns, bro. What kind of... That's crazy.
That's crazy, man.
But I get free hoodies.
That's dope.
Just I get to put my name on them like I made them.
Yeah, that's sick. I noticed that all your stuff has your logo and brand. Like when you were gone, I was looking at your jacket. That thing is hella tight, dude.
Yeah, man. I just made this thing. It finally came, but
dude, yeah, lining and everything.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm lucky to have like people who like my stuff who kind of tell me what to do with it.
Really,
my audience is like, "Yo, your stuff would like." I get messages that are like, "Actually, this is what you should do because I like your stuff and I would buy that." Yeah.
If they're telling you, why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah. So it's like embroidery, things like that. Really championed by people who like my work. I think because it's very detail oriented, right? So some things are a no-brainer, right? If it's detail, like embroidery and patches, like really work with that. And like pattern, So lining works with that, right?
Mm.
So well, I want to finish something we got on.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I didn't know if we were over that. We can go back to it. Let's do it.
No, no. Because I think it's important, bro. I really do.
Let's go back to it.
And like I've accepted it. I've accepted saying things that like could be slightly embarrassing, right?
No, man, it's not embarrassing. It's your truth.
Yeah, and I've done it in other interviews and just talked about it. Like, just because I just don't think that side of the story is told enough. So
no, man, it's your story. And why you're here. You talk about what the fuck you want to talk about.
True. So like I could be cool and say like, yo, yeah, man, like things happen and then like I just like fuck it and I like end up in DC and New York again, redoing everything and painting murals because I won. I lost people, but they lost. I won right now. It's not like that, man. Like I said, at one point I did come to speak to my family, to be pissed off, right? And also to like ignore the fact that I was pissed off that someone let my, I guess, depression, right? Like, speak for me. You know what I mean? When like, let's say if you know someone really well and they get depressed,
yeah,
you know them really well, you should know they're depressed. You know what I mean? Here's the thing though, because of the upbringing I had, I became like a very strong person to a lot of the people.
So were you mad people didn't realize you were depressed?
You know, I got mad, right? And that's the thing. I could like but when I got up here, I got mad, but I knew it wasn't about that, bro. Because I knew why they didn't react to me my depression well. Even my mom, even my family. I know why they didn't think to tell my. It's not just about her. That? It was because like I became like a strong person to a lot of people.
I mean, you look highly successful to them.
You know, well, I don't even.
A strong looking person.
At that point, I don't even know if I looked. I guess you could say I did too. Yeah, to a lot of people, but like to my family, I didn't really look successful. You know what I mean? We'll
never be successful in our family's eyes. Though we always feel inferiors. Oh,
that's true. But so some of this was even my family because it's like, yo, you guys didn't tell me my grandfather was passing, right? Because you guys didn't think it would matter to me because you guys thought I was so strong. That's the thing. Whoa. I have become so strong to so many people that instead of saying like, yo, damn, Chris is depressed, they're like, yo, Chris doesn't care. He's too busy.
He doesn't care. He's gonna have time for that.
Yo, so that's, and so I really couldn't be mad at anyone, not even myself, bro, because like I was able to be strong for them when they needed it. It's just when they needed me, I was too strong in their memory. Their memories of me were like, because I used to like, I didn't think I could be depressed because I had gone through a certain childhood where I got shipped around the country so much. My first 8 plane rides, I was by myself and I was a minor.
It sounds like you went back and forth between your biological dad and your mom and stuff like that.
Yeah, and even a little bit in between them, right?
Okay.
With my grandmother in New Mexico and stuff like that. So like,
well, that hardens you. It kind of gives you this thing where it's like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, I've been in a similar situation where I remember flying to Texas to see my dad and his new wife and shit and meeting new family.
Like
I'm
that,
like, what the hell is this? I'm like, what is this? You know, and I think everyone internalizes it different.
And then but it happens so much, and then when you have to get used to always saying, I'm in a new place with new people, and nobody I know is anywhere close. They're like across the country. That happened to me about 3 or 4 times. You know what I mean? And so at a point, like what happens is I get really, really, how do you say it? Like comfortable with myself, because like I rode my first 8 plane rides as I didn't realize that most people ride planes with people they know. Like I didn't realize that until I rode my first plane ride with someone I knew as an adult, and I'm like, whoa, this is different. I was a little kid with like a Nintendo or something, and like adults looking at me like, what game is that? And I'm creeped out. You know, I remember that.
No, I've literally been in the same situation where it's like the stewardess is like helping you or something.
Yeah,
and
they would come check on you.
Yeah, they come check on you, and you're like, I have no idea what I'm doing. What the fuck am I doing?
Bro. I remember one point I had a layover in Las Vegas, right?
Those were scary.
And they had slot machines in the airport. I'll never forget this. As a kid, I could just go play them, and I wanted to so bad. And I'm like, I had to be responsible to get on the plane at the right time. So it was all based on. I wasn't. It was all based on stewardess helping me out and my grandmother calling to make sure. But I'm like, yo, like that was so much of my childhood, bro. And then you gotta imagine going from DC to New Mexico, Roswell at that, right? And then going like these settings are so different and the people are so different that I just got used to like, okay, the only thing the same here is me. So like I became my own best friend, right?
So you're the only child?
No, bro, I'm just the youngest. but it's like such a distance that it's strange.
It's almost like you're an only child.
Practically.
So distant almost. It's almost like they're like your aunt or uncle, your older brothers, I guess.
Yeah, it's like that. And I am my dad's only child. So on that side of the family, I was like, so yeah, bro, like how I looked at it is like, you know what? I can't be mad at anyone, right? I can't, right? Because there's no way they would know any better, right? But I was just like, and I'm not even mad at myself because I did my absolute best, right? I just stopped telling people because I didn't want to be the boy who cried wolf and say, oh shit, check.
You stopped telling people you were mad?
No, just that I couldn't make it up north, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Like check
home.
bounce, this, that. I told people to a certain extent, then I'm just like, this sounds crazy. You know what I mean? Because my life was crazy at that point.
That is crazy.
Right? So, because even my check bounced so many times that it put my account in fraud review and then my debit card won't work. And the bank's like, you have to come in so we know it's you. And I'm like,
what?
I have no gas because my debit card doesn't work. This thing got so crazy. So I was just like, I can't keep telling this story for like 2 months.
Yeah, you just get tired of it.
Yeah, bro.
Why aren't you here? You're like, oh.
So I just shut down, bro. But I like, again, in Miami, those 2 weeks felt like 3 days.
Wow.
And then people are like, yo, you haven't talked to me for 2 weeks. And then you post a picture in Miami smiling somewhere. You know why I was smiling, bro? I finally booked my ticket. But, yo, I offended someone by like, yo, you're just down there living your life and I thought you were suffering. And it was like, yo, you got the instant cutoff, bro.
That is that is the worst part about social media. That crossed my mind while you're telling me this, because it's like even if you are suffering, on social, it's like you're not gonna express that.
Right.
You know? And
right.
so like,
and why would I? I'm an artist and people aren't following me. They don't know me personally.
Yeah.
I don't post about my personal life.
What's weird is how rare people check in with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really rare how often people actually just like give you a call. Or like, like not just like a DM, but like they actually like give you like a random call. You know?
And you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because I've been speaking to people. I met you know Rike, right?
Yeah.
I just met her for the first time.
Yeah,
maybe
she's
like
super nice.
Yeah, she's awesome. I hadn't heard about her for a while, but we work with a lot of same people. But I met her for the first time maybe like a couple weeks ago at a pop up, at the really big pop up. They invited me out. So like she came to talk to me and she's asking me, what's your best way of communication? And it made me think because I was like,
oh dang.
Because I told her, I said, lately, phone calls. I said, yo, don't text me. It takes me like, that's like an email to me. I might respond tomorrow and then you respond tomorrow. And I'm like, phone call or DM, because I talk to a lot of my audience on DM, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, yo, but if you want to text me, if it's outside of Instagram, phone call. And I was never like that. But I think what you just said is, I think all of this is kind of reaction of me growing from what I went through, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've learned to communicate better, right? The big thing that I saw, though, when I sat back, instead of being mad at anything, I was just like, yo, why did this happen? Looking back at it, none of it would have happened if I had business in DC. If I could at least say, yo, hey, this restaurant or this store that has been trying to work with me, hey, I'm coming up. Let's do that mural. I'll give you a discount.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I always think, and it sounds terrible, but I always think it's your fault, our fault, my fault. You know, if anything that happens to us, it's always my fault at the end of the day. You know, like whatever the situation is, it's always my fault.
Okay.
You know, I always feel like it's hard to blame something else. But I mean, I guess the business does go back to being you.
No, I did. Yeah. At that point, you're right. Personally, I wasn't blaming myself. As a businessman, I was. Well, you know, I wasn't blaming myself up to that point, but I said, yo, if this was to ever happen again, it's definitely my fault.
Yeah.
Right? So I was like, yo, I have to go back home and create business because at this point, I have nieces and nephews growing up. It was bigger than the person I lost.
So that's why you're here.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Yeah, I did have to express to that person like, yo, my bad. You're more important than you thought. I just couldn't express it. It wasn't you at all, you know? So that was a big point. And I did it to my best ability, right? You know what I mean?
You can only do so much for someone until they have to come around themselves.
Exactly. So I did that to my best ability, you know? And after that, I returned to Miami, you know, and I finished my projects.
Nice.
And I had not only did I try to show her that, yo, she wasn't like ignored, right? It was me going through something. Like not only that, I talked to my family. I sat them down and like really explained how that messed me up. You know what I mean? And like what other things it caused in my life, right? So then I went back to Miami, did some things, and then I had a project that was in the works for DC, which was kind of what I was looking for, right?
Perfect.
And it ended up being a mural and a collaborative apparel drop for a store opening in downtown Silver Springs, Ward 9. They were rebranding.
Yo, I've had my eye on those guys, the Enemies guys, Ward 9 Enemies.
Yeah, so when they first opened, there was a mural of a dragon and spitting flowers over like yellow brick pattern on the wall. That was my pyramid.
Oh.
So I had painted. Yeah, I did the whole store opening. I did the branding. I launched the Enemies line that launched when that store opened was a collaborative line with me.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing I did coming out of that.
That was some time ago though. That wasn't like last month. That was
it was a year ago. Yeah, it was like we did that in March.
Yeah,
last March. So yeah, man, that was it. And I did that, and I'm like, yo, I don't know. I needed something here, and I got something, right? And I'm like, yo, I don't know what's next. And then like I got called to New York, did a mural, and then after that, I did a mural for I don't know if you know Junior.
Seems like you're doing a bunch of murals, but I don't know Junior.
The kid in the Bronx who tragically like
stabbed beside the bodega.
Yeah.
Dude, that video was savage, man. That was hard to watch.
Yeah.
Anyway, he wasn't even the right kid.
I know.
That was crazy.
I know, bro. Tell me about it.
Like, you knew it was over. I'm sure you know everything, right?
I did his mural. I know his family, bro.
Yeah. Because I thought he was like sexting the cousins, whatever it was. We don't have to go through it.
Yeah,
but.
There's so much to that. Right. Like I'm dealing with it today. Someone just tagged me in today because the mural I did in the parking lot he played basketball in is getting demolished right now.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm dealing with that today. They're asking me, would I do another one? And that's the one I was telling you, like, the news cycle. I had to do all these interviews. It was for that mural.
Oh, yeah, man. That was a big thing on social. Just in the East Coast for a long time.
Right. So that was when I told you, like, I realized that the news is crazy.
Dude, like, Rain, I actually heard that the gang leader who summoned that hit, like, messaged the mom on Facebook.
Oh, yeah?
And, like, apologized and everything.
Yeah, I believe it. I
believe it, too.
But I was in that community for, like, 3 weeks.
Wow.
You know, they asked me to come back and do a residency there. And that's how I ended up being back in New York for a long term. It was from that project. And I got a couple more murals out of it. And
so you're just doing straight murals now?
No,
was that always a goal? Like just like doing murals everywhere?
Bro, out of everything I'm doing, that was the thing that was never a goal.
Really?
Yeah.
Why are murals like such a fucking thing?
You know why? And I was just talking to someone about this yesterday. Reef action. I was saying the reason why murals why it's like, I don't know, it's like the car I drive in, right? You know what I mean? Through all these other roads of art, right? It's because it's someone pays you to do it.
Facts.
It's your work.
Mm-hmm.
They pay you because thousands of people are going to see it, but thousands of people are seeing your work. What other form of art is that much of an advertisement? While someone's paying you to...
It's like a billboard.
It is.
Like a permanent billboard.
And you're getting paid to do it. So it's just a win-win-win for everyone.
Across the board.
Exactly. So that's why I didn't ever want to do murals. My boy Wes, who's now part of my management team, he hit me up a while back and was just like, yo, like, I knew his family had a store in Virginia. He's like, yo, like, my aunt's going to get someone a mural. Why don't you do it? I'm like, nah, I don't do that. Right. And he's like, they're going to pay somebody. You're my favorite artist. You should do it. And I'm like, nah. And he's like, bro, do it. And I'm like,
you're an artist. You want money, right? You're trying to be full time, right?
Yeah. And I'm like, all right, fuck it. So I just go do it. And then from that, just doing that piece in the middle of like Roanoke, Virginia, got me so many calls.
Really? Because
people are driving past it every day. And then my next one was in Manhattan because my friend owned a store.
Nice.
So then I think my next two were at Copycat, which is funny. I just redid one of them. But it's just there's such big advertisements that even in Roanoke, Virginia, I was getting calls constantly about.
You'd be stupid not to do my guess. I never looked at it. It's like a permanent billboard with your Instagram tag.
Yeah.
That shows your style in the most epic fashion.
Yeah, exactly. And whoever pays you for it is going to like brag about it.
Really?
Yeah, because they paid for that thing, man. They're like,
oh, I got Chris Pyrate to do this.
Exactly.
He's in Miami, New
exactly.
York.
So they tell your story for you, bro. And like, especially, and then you keep expanding. They're like, yo, look at him now. We got his first piece. That happens. I
Oh,
go back
really?
there, yeah, and they're like, so.
What they can do, just like rip the wall out and sell it. Like I always wondered that. Like you ever seen like Banksy and stuff? Like this shit's small. You're doing like what 20-foot murals or something.
Yeah, that'd
right?
be crazy, bro. Like, give me a cut if you think about doing that. You know,
Yo, random. How do you do a mural? Because like for me, someone who can't even write their name legible, like how the hell like do you do these giant murals? Like what's that process, man?
You just. The first time I did it, I just winged it, bro. That
Really?
first one, I didn't know anything about doing a mural. So I was just like, oh, it's just like doing a drawing, but big, right? So I drew something on paper, and I kept having to go like 20 feet back. Because, yo, the problem is, when you're up close, it looks completely different.
Oh.
So you can draw it perfectly, but you're looking at a slant. So everything's going to be morphed. And I didn't realize that until I did my first. Yeah.
It's okay. It's in Roanoke. Fuck that place.
Yeah. No, but you know, I fixed it. You know, like it just took me like, weirdly enough, it took me a week, which my murals now still take me a week. I just do them differently.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know why. Somehow that took me a week, and I'm like, yo, that's a long time, right? But like, I haven't beat that time yet. You know what I mean? But no, there's crafty ways of doing it, right? There's a dude, Tristan Eaton. I've seen him do it, man, and the way he does it, like, it's crazy. He has, I mean, it's not that crazy, but it blew my mind, and it makes a lot of sense. He puts a camera, the GoPro, far behind him, and he has it, I don't know, a live feed to his, where he can look at it through his iPad.
Oh, nice.
So he can see the right perspective while he's
and
painting.
you're on like a lift, right? This whole time you're doing this?
Yeah, he is. It depends on your budget.
Oh,
yeah.
You're on a big ladder.
Yeah, sometimes I'm on a ladder, sometimes scaffolding, sometimes a lift.
Whatever
it
works,
depends
right?
on what's necessary and like
what their budget is.
Yeah, how much I'm trying to like profit. You know what I mean?
That's true. Oh, because you got to get that, I guess. Yeah, they can give you the thing and you say, oh.
Yeah, and you know, it depends on where you're at. Certain people do it certain ways, but typically it falls on me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? To play with that budget.
Interesting. Dang, yeah, I always wondered about that.
Yeah, a lot. You know, there's other things about murals that I won't say, right? Because it's like a magician. Everybody wonders how it gets done.
I wonder that, yeah.
Right? And so if that person ever tells the public, then it ruins everybody.
Well, it just seems like murals are like the hot thing to do. Like if you're a business or it's a shit part of town or whatever it is, it's like just slap a mural on that thing and it'll look good. We can raise the property values right around here.
Remember, I got pulled into a beautification project, which is like a nice name to say gentrification. It's because of murals.
It's like,
yeah, it was because of, you know,
well, especially because your style's so flowery, you know, it's like, it's way nicer than like someone who might do some street art shit, but your stuff is very friendly and approachable.
And I think the fact too, that like, yo, like I'm a black dude with dreads and tattoos. It's like, yo, I got the flowery stuff, right? But then like that community doesn't see me as an intruder. And I get to relate to people and stuff like that, right? So I got used that way. I'll say that.
Dang,
right?
yeah, use a little bit.
Yeah. I feel like that.
Have the black guy do the gentrification project.
And like, it's like, yo, his stuff's going to uplift the community, right? Which they see him doing it, right? And then, but they're also like, his stuff's very friendly to white people moving in. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's very true. Oh, it's so pretty.
Yeah.
I love those pyramids and flowers.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like we're underwater.
And then like, he's going to get all the Freemasons to move in because it's pyramids. Yeah, man.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So when you started, you said it wasn't murals. Like, what was the thing? Like how do you just go from making music to just to what you do, to your style, to painting, to?
Well, you know what? Like, people think I was making music. I was making music as more of a hobby, right? I just can't. And I was really trying to write for a friend, but when I would go to the studio try to help him write, people were like, "You're writing for him? Go record it yourself." So that's how it happened, right? Like more like that, like studio peer pressure. Like, why are you writing for someone else?
Yeah, don't be the background guy.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I got pushed all the way to the forefront, and like I didn't like that stuff back then. I wasn't ready to be like a face of anything, so it made me like, oh, I didn't like it. Cause I'm always been a visual artist, drawing on paper since I was a little kid. So like, the band Model Citizens formed in art school. We end up performing.
You went to art school?
Yeah, I went to Art Institute of Washington, if you want to call that an art school.
Art as a college, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be one.
No, whatever it is.
Yeah.
AI. It's
AI. Yeah, that's the one.
I'm sure you learned something there. Shit.
Yeah, no, you know what? The best thing is connecting with people. It's like, yo, it's the distillation of the city. Like, it's all people your age that are trying to do art. So like I know some, like yo, I know a lot of them on your wall because of that.
Yeah,
Like
that's one
I
of our
know
first
so many
conversations.
people like, and like if you just listen to this, Bruce has his dope wall of like Polaroids, and I like before I ever met this guy, I came with my boy Reef who co-owns the studio. He has another business like, and and I was just like, yo, I know so many of these people, bro, and like a lot of them I haven't seen since I was like doing that, rapping. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, like AI, it's a distillation of people your age, like a filtering process. They're all there because they're like you, and like that was the first time, you know.
I think it's interesting. I think people always wonder about artists. Like, did they go to school for it? Did they? You know, I feel like it's some sort of like hang up with people.
It is, and I dropped out, so you can put me in that category.
Haha, but fuck them. Who cares?
Exactly. So I kind of like a little bit of both. I did go to school, but I dropped out, right? So like, I'm neutral.
I mean, do you think it helped?
Yeah, I think it helped because I still know all those people, and like the guy and like one like a couple people in the audience that made were like, "Yo, you were rapping. What happened to that?" You know, that's because, and that's how I told them. I said, you know, I kept saying like, "Yo, like connection and like relationships are the biggest things for my career, right? Because I can come back to DC and Reef is like, bro, you know, Reef is it's like the reverse of me. He's from Miami, but he's in DC. And when I met him, I was visiting. I met him on that trip to come, like, be angry at my parents and
Oh,
my
no
family.
way.
And like, yeah, I met him on that trip, bro. And it was like, yo, like he was, and on that same trip, I got booked for 2 murals, so he helped me with them, right?
Oh, nice.
But like he's the reverse of me, you know. So we talk about a lot of things about each other's city from a different perspective. So he's like, bro, everybody knows who you are out here, everybody. And I'm like, that's a mix. It's a mixed match of like me doing stuff in the past and now, and like that happened in the conferences. So people are like, oh yeah, you know. But what's cool about it is they still support me because like I think my art is better than what I was doing back then, you know. So I mean that's up to people to decide. But
I mean,
I
I
think,
hope so. I think it's artists always evolving, growing, and better. You know.
definitely. So I think it was better than the music. But like yeah, you know, it's just like those relationships. I can come back to the city and like.
But when you come to the city, it's like you're kind of like a celebrity in a weird way, like a hometown celebrity, like someone who made it out, and now you're back and visiting and stuff. Like that's kind of cool. It's you're doing something that very much 90% of people in this art building wish they could do. Do you think it was the networking connections? I'm just guessing, like the networking connections that like got you to that point.
I think it was I think for some reason, bro, you know, it's like luck. Um, but I don't think luck. You know, I say luck in that form of how people say like, oh, like proper preparation meets timing type of luck, right?
Where you're ready for the opportunity, kind of thing.
Right, right. So I had a mixed match of a past. Yo, at a point, I thought all my chances were done because yo, I was a child actor, bro. Right? A lot of people don't know this stuff, right? Not a child. I was an actor. I was on The Wire, and I was supposed to be on like the Little Romeo show, right?
Yeah. Whoa, these are some fun facts,
right?
dude.
So that right there, then I like captain of a soccer team. Also went to school with, like Kevin Durant, and he was my buddy and stuff like that. And Michael Beasley, and like these things, having like an ex girlfriend like who's like huge now in her field, like like a lot of like people from the area know who.
Can I ask? Can I ask?
Well, I'll just say she works with Solange. You know what I mean?
Oh, nice.
To me, if you ask me, she's the voice of like Solange's rebrand because I knew her back then.
So you know it's her, dude.
Yeah, definitely. And I've spoken to her, you know, but
seems like you were surrounded with very successful people.
that's the thing is like I've had like a very specific. They weren't successful when I knew them. Kevin Durant was in high school. He was a kid from the hood,
He's
you
like
know.
a tall dude, no?
Yeah. He was a tall dude, like conflicted because he kind of had to play basketball. He was so good at it.
I feel bad for tall people. It's like they have to play
Straight
basketball.
up, bro. That's a rag. Not to put it into business out there, but my relationship with Katie was a little bit of that because I didn't have that struggle, and we would talk about it, right? So like yeah, just being like having flirtations with success myself as an actor and things like this, and even as a musician, because we end up getting production deals. We end up like getting invited to special events by NERD, Pharrell's Pharrell's team.
Whoa.
Like the team that ended up managing Kid Cudi, we were with them before, right? So like all these things, and it's like, yo, a lot of my friends or people I was really close with, like even girls and best friends and things. Now it's Solange's creative director or KD's MVP of the league a couple times and stuff, or like one time, and like my cousin, you know what I mean? He mentored KD, and he's like Ice Cube's league. He's like the second runner up in the MVP race, right?
Dang,
so
you've had so many touches with success.
That's the thing, bro. So because of that, I was always the person that when they started to pop, I back off of them because I always believed in my own shit. And I was like,
you weren't trying to
I'm gonna show them, bro. I'm gonna meet them up there, right? So I'm gonna
get that fuel.
Yeah. But because of that, also like I was put in front of a camera before I even wanted, because I was an actor, right? I learned little things I just lost fear through all these things, right? Like seeing your friend go from like yo complaining in school about his life to Kevin Durant as he is now,
superstar, world known.
You know what I mean?
Crazy. It's next level shit.
Seeing your ex, bro, like having conversations with her about her really looking up to these specific celebrities, and then like yo working with them. That's crazy.
That can
bro.
go both two ways in someone's mind, though.
Okay,
it can go either you get the fuel,
right,
or you just get very down on yourself.
And that's the thing. I was on like how I started saying this. Now you go back to why I brought it up is that like I thought I always fucked it up because I'm like, yo,
because they're doing it.
What the fuck? And I'm like, yo, I should have probably kept acting. I should have probably kept doing music. I should have. And I'm like, yo, so what I told myself is I was always a visual artist, always, right? And that was always the case, right? That's always what I did the best, right? Out of everything. It's just I didn't always show people. But like since I was a kid, I was like in art programs and stuff because I just had a natural talent for it. So like and my family picked up on it and they just told me early like, oh, you're an artist. But so it was like art was my fallback, bro. I wanted to be a scientist and all that, right?
Whoa.
It was like if anything fails, of course you can do art, right? Nobody knew that. None of them knew that. Well, the girl did, but Katie, he didn't know that and all that, you know?
It wasn't something that you were like, yeah, I'm an artist.
Nah, I was trying to play basketball. I was playing soccer. I was doing, you know what I mean? I was trying to like do other things, right? So like when that feeling came, I never wanted to act. I never wanted to do it. That stuff just happened, right? So I'm like you don't ask to become Kevin Durant's best friend before he's Kevin Durant, or if his great friend in high school. You know what I mean? You don't ask for that. Like it just these things happen. So at a point, I was like, yo, what's up with this? Why do I have?
Now, where's my shot?
Why it just was like I thought, when I saw it, I'm just like, yo, this is dope. But why does this happen to me a lot? And I'm like, did I miss my shot? Was I supposed to keep acting?
Did I give up? Too early?
Right, music and stuff. So I was like, when it came to the art, it's the thing I'm most confident in. I'm like, you know what? If I have one more shot, it's going to be with this, and I know I can do this. I'm going to do my best and try my hardest. And yo, I can say here now, like, all right, okay, I'm good. You know what I mean? Because like, it's only a matter of time. I have like I just got teamed up with Gary V.
Do I know Gary V? Yeah, I think I've heard of him.
Yeah. So
fucking love Gary V.
That's dope. So his media company is my agent now.
No way.
Yeah, and
oh my god, congrats.
We're working on our first thing with Ann Pizza right now. We're in the middle of talks and stuff. So like but with that is like I told them some of that, and they have the access to be like, yo, really? Well, like, let's get on the phone with this dude.
They could literally call Kevin Durant.
Of course, bro. And
like, yo, you're best friends right here, bro.
That's the thing. And like, even my family, like I said, my cousin was his mentor. My cousin, I went to a private school because my cousin was a great basketball player. That's why that school had a basketball program, which allowed KD to get a scholarship. And Michael Beasley and Patrick Ewing's son, I know him. Like, this guy who's mad popular on Instagram right now, Lethal Shooter, he's a shooting coach, works with Golden State. That dude was a jerk in high school. That's my boy though. He's cool as shit. But
hey, we gotta call spade a spade.
But
man.
not just mean like that's how well I knew these people. It's like this dude got on my nerves. You know what I mean? Like I knew so I see all that. Because I went to a private school. A lot of like athletes' kids went there. So like,
dude, time out. What school was this? This is like the X-Men like school of mutant successful
it was just for athletes,
people.
bro. Like nobody else came out of that but athletes.
And you were playing soccer there.
Yeah, but I was only there because of my family. I wasn't a soccer phenom. but like I was the captain 2 years in a row. Maybe it's because my cousin was the basketball player. I don't know, right?
Who knows?
But the soccer team sucked, and I was the captain.
Okay.
Like we won maybe one game in 2 years.
Dang.
Yeah.
Hey, better be captain of a shit team than a captain of nothing, right?
Yo, straight up. I'd rather than be like just a dude on a shit team.
Yeah, right?
Even though maybe it was my fault because I was the captain.
You're making some bad calls, bro.
Right? But
you don't need 2 goalies. Come on.
I mean, I was a dude playing soccer, and I was I was like center, like a forward, right? And I had asthma. That's not the sport for that. Yeah, it's not. So like, I think part of it was because of who my family was, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and just like looking at my life, I always wonder why all this stuff was like that, right?
Yeah.
And like, yo, I've talked to my ex who works for Solange. You know,
That's cool.
she saw, she sees what I'm doing. We talk about it, right? And like, so it's like, and my family, because of my cousin mentoring, they also knew how close I was with KD, and they still know him, and they're always like, why don't you talk to him? Like, what's up? And I did that on purpose.
You kind of feel like you'd be coming out of the woodwork or something, right?
Yeah, well, at a point, and that's why I'm like, but I know KD, right? And I know once he found out what I'm doing, he's gonna be mad proud. So that's just a simple thing that but I just want to make sure that a quality level first.
It'd be different if you had nothing though,
right?
Like if you weren't doing shit and you were working at Am Pizza and you started reaching out,
right?
It's different. But if you have V's team reaching out for you, then it's like, oh, what?
Well, I was that dude for a while, which is why I just backed off of all my friends that were getting famous, right? Because I was and they would come to my job, bro. Because KD used to come because I worked up against the wall, man, and like he used to come and like. People used to be weirded out because, like, as soon as he come, I try to make fun of him first because I know he's going to fucking, like, get on me, right? Because they didn't see me in a while. People were looking like, that's Kevin Durant. We're trying to get him to buy shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But,
now I know what you're saying. You're kind of, like, self-conscious in a way.
I just didn't want to be that dude, bro. So I backed off, and I just was more confident. I'm like, yo, I'm not going to put his business out there, but KD succeeded at basketball. He's also a giant, right?
He's a giant. What you
right?
Of course he's genetically gifted.
Yeah, but he also was better than every other giant older than him.
Oh.
Right? He was on, like, supposed to be on JV as the best varsity player on a school where they're all scholarship kids. So he was crazy, right?
He was tall and gifted.
He was ridiculous, bro. But he was still really just a regular dude, which it was a weird situation. I'm happy he made it, right?
Yeah.
But my thing is, like, KD, like, I always knew I was an artist. I didn't have to become. It's not because I had a golden hand. That's like, yo, you have to be an artist.
But it seems like you never leaned into it for a while. Like
I did
the sports, the music, and then finally, it's like you finally connect with that thing that you were always supremely talented at.
Yeah.
And you go, wait a minute, this is like possible. Like what?
Yeah. Like,
it's my thing.
It was one of those things where like, yo, I had accidentally become successful in a lot of things, or accidentally was very close to people who became successful at things. I'm just like, if I'm gonna do it as something, I want it to be as something that I have a good vocabulary in, right? My what is it? I even was a skate model for a little while, right? So like stuff like this, modeling or what do you call that? Acting.
Damn, it must be hard to be just successful at anything you try, bro.
I was no successful is a different word.
Like mildly successful.
Yeah, mildly where it's like, oh, that's cool, you're doing that, and like if you keep doing it, you'll probably win, right? But it was like, yo, I don't want to keep doing this. You know what I mean? If I became successful immediately at acting,
it's like, do I love this though?
Right, I didn't love any of it. Right, not even music, bro. Like it was all an accident, just like me falling into things, and like so, like the acting was the first thing, and that was because my mom's friend was her son acting, and she was like, Chris would be dope at this, like get him into casting, and it worked, and I quit because I didn't value money. I was a kid. I was like, yo, fuck this.
Like what do you mean? Like how old is a child? Like
I was on I want to say I was like late middle school.
Okay.
And then as I was entering high school.
Okay.
I quit, right?
Did you have dreads back then too? Because them dreads is long.
I had braids. I always had hair. I had a braid, sometimes a ponytail, stuff like that. But yeah, man, those brushes, right? And then it was like, wait, every time I was starting to get successful, I was like, yo, I kind of don't want to be known as this. I don't want to be known as this rapper. Or it was a band, it was an alternate. Yo, we were the skateboard rap group before there was a skateboard rap group, bro. Before Odd Future, before all this stuff.
Oh, shit,
right?
Yeah.
So we had a lot of pressure on us too because rap was still very gangster, and people were the same shows we were very popular at. People were like other rappers who would go up. Like we were a mainstay. We were a regular act at this place called Pure, which was what do you call it, open mic?
Yeah.
But they had 2 artists who were. It had a host EXO who's a rapper, right? Who was big. He kind of came under Wale and all those guys, that camp, right? And they had 2, what do you call it? What do you call that? Main acts, right? That were consistent.
Headliners, yeah, whatever.
The headliners, right? That was us and this dude named Fat Trell, who's now
Fat
huge,
Trell.
right? Yeah. So he got signed in that thing.
Wow.
While they had a competition in that place.
So you're thinking that could have been us, how we kept going. We could have been the Odd Future
But
of DC.
I didn't want, but the thing is, there was so much pressure on us. Fat Trell, now he was going acceptable rap back then.
So you say like almost people like saw it in you guys. Like, yo, you guys could be really successful. Like,
Certain people, but you had to really have, like most, I'll just say the general public was like, what is this? This is how they rapping. Like, we had a song like, this ain't for clubs. This the shit make you push and shove. The haters watch and mug. But something, the girls fall in love. But it was like, it was some shit where it was like, we talked about mosh pitting in the song, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we were describing push and shove, and we were saying, all the skateboarders gonna mosh to this. This before there was a, like,
moshing,
we had to,
the thing now, though.
we had to break that concept down to people. They didn't know what we were talking about, bro.
Yeah.
Like, our best shows, we were doing battle of bands with rock bands in like Arlington.
Wow, it's because you identified more with them than you did the
and
rap
they loved
groups.
us, bro, because we were rapping. You know what I mean? And we would win every time. So like,
did you have a live drummer too?
Yeah, we did.
Hell
there
yeah.
you go.
Hell
You know exactly what we were doing,
Yeah.
because that's and that was the thing.
That was like the connection right there.
And at a point, like, they didn't want the live drummer anymore. The other, because it's a group, right? And I'm just like, yo, there's no way I'm performing without a live drummer, right? Because I knew that's what made it make sense.
Energy live. It's so much energy.
And now it makes sense because every rapper performs with a band and stuff, right? So because you know, when you're a pioneer, you're almost a villain, right? So we were getting hated on heavy, right?
Mhm.
So like, it was just like, yo, I kind of don't want to.
And this was based out of DC?
It was based out of DC.
So you were getting hate from like DC people.
You already know, bro. Exactly. And a lot of these people like, yo, I was just somewhere just now. Because I accidentally went to the wrong place. I ended up at Adams Morgan.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't paying attention on GPS. But and I asked, where can I get a chai tea, right? And I come out of the bathroom and this dude's like, Chris? And he gives me a handshake. I'm thinking like, I don't remember him. And he's like, I follow you, blah, 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 right? And he's like, when it comes to, it's like, I feel like some of these people, not him. I'm not. If you're listening, bro, it's not about you. This happens a lot in DC, and I'm like, and like even Reef says, like, everybody knows you. I'm like, yo, a lot of those people probably thought I was weird back then or didn't really rock with me. They knew me because I had eyebrow piercings, I skated, and I was on the up against the wall block because they would throw cool clothes on me because they had skate brands in there and nobody to wear it, right? And they would ask me about the skate shit. So I was just that. I was an anomaly. So was my skate partner. I mean, my skate and rap partner, Space. We were anomalies, and we were known for anomalies then. Girls accepted us, right?
Well, you're anomalies because of the stereotypical person that looked like he wasn't doing that.
Right. But girls loved it, which made you even worse to the guys, right?
Oh, yeah. He looks different.
They're like, he's got to be gay. Look at his jeans. And
Oh,
like,
bro, you know how many times I was called gay in high school, dude?
Yo, you already know,
I
bro.
was like, yeah, but me and your girl making out with me in these girl pants, like, what you want?
Now you got, that was like our mission statement in our music. Seriously, like,
these girl
you can
pants
make
on
fun of
kissing
us,
your
but like
girl.
your girl's like, as soon as you go to the bathroom, she's like asking us all the questions.
Yep. Oh my God, where'd you get your name? Piercings.
Exactly.
I got one too.
There we go. So I'm like, yo, a lot of these people, they have been watching for a long time, but I wonder how much their perspective has changed.
You'd be surprised how people watch out from the outskirts.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as you start like posting something that's popping, like if you're like, yo, working with Coach, like 50 people out of nowhere be like, congrats, bro. You're like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah. You know what? And like, it's funny because I posted a thing recently of like painting on Yeezys and
I saw that video. That's
in
cool.
Adidas, right? And the cool part is it was in Chicago. You can't get any better. It's from there, right?
Yeah.
So and I was working with the team that does the marketing for Yeezy, right? None of this was, I didn't know that was the situation, right? I had already
How do you
worked.
not know you're paying for Yeezy?
I had already worked with Adidas, right, in New York, and my friend's an agent, and she just books these events. That's her embroidery machine, right? And she has a relationship with all these brands, bro, right? Maria, shout out to Maria. I love you. You're the best. Right?
Yeah, shout out Maria. What's up, baby? No, I'm just kidding.
She's the best, man. So like, but yeah, it's just she just has these relationships, and she's like, yo, Chris is amazing. Look at this, and then they book me, and I end up it's like easy enough. You know, I had already worked with Adidas because like in New York, and she's like, go to Chicago 3 days. I'm like, all right.
Oh,
And then
hell yeah.
so, but the only reason you say that about posting that type of stuff, right? That thing's old. I think I did that summertime, right? Like, but Jeff from VaynerMedia, he's like, yeah, he's like, why are you not like, why is there not that stuff on your page, right? But it's from what you say because I'm still like a real person, bro. You know what I mean? And like some of the stuff, I'm like, do I really want to post that I'm painting Yeezys right now?
You're kind of like self-conscious about it, like
just because I don't want
the humble brag, It's like the
or just like like I post once a day for the most part, and sometimes I want to post something else more, and that's not my priority post, right? And but I posted that. Thanks, Jeff. And
it looks great.
Let's do better business from here on. Yeah, I'll be posting a lot more of that shit. I have more that you haven't seen.
Well, it's like a weird line. It's like I think a lot of artists are a lot more sensitive to it, where you don't want to seem like that guy,
right.
Whatever that guy is, like the person gloating, glorifying, painting Yeezys, look at me, like
yeah.
But like you want to like, yeah, I'm still a regular dude, but it's at the same time it's weird because you almost have to do these things.
You do,
like you have to because to other people it doesn't look like how you think it looks.
Mm-hmm.
It just looks like you're being successful.
Okay, good point.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point. That's a good thing to hear.
Yeah.
Hopefully you have someone to tell you that too, because I know as an artist, it's easier to said than done.
Always,
right?
Always.
Because like I'm taking that I'm not gonna forget that because like you do think like, oh, this is like lame. I just posted something like this with like another brand like not too long ago, so like let me at least wait a week. I don't want to like seem facetious or whatever. You know what I mean? So like I don't even know if that's the right word.
Well,
right
I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm better than you. Like you feel like that on the inside, but really, I think when people see it, at least this is the way I look at it. I'm like, they're just being successful,
right? And I think what I think when you say that, I think that is what people think because when I see, and then you gotta start to think that people don't look at you like you're in your own shoes, so you're seeing all your flaws. Like you said, Instagram, which can be a problem. Like it was a problem for me that one time when you don't show your flaws, right? But like people aren't, so they're not really judging you as a person, they're judging you as a brand. And I'm not like, if Supreme works with the NBA or Nike, I'm not like, yo, they think they're the shit. And I'm like, no, they're doing their job really well, bro. You know what I mean? And
yeah, it's not selling out or anything. That's just how much bigger can you go?
Exactly. So you're right. I think people are looking at us more like a brand because that's the chance that's one good thing about Instagram, especially and social media in general. I think Instagram because you're allowed to say nothing and just post a picture. Twitter's not that way, bro. You have to have something to talk about.
You have something to say.
Yeah, I don't. That's why I haven't.
You look at my Twitter like that,
bro. My Twitter hasn't. I probably haven't posted on Twitter, like, or it may be it reposts my Instagram. I lost the password. I have no clue, right? But like, I haven't posted on that thing in probably like 2-3 years.
Man, Gary Vee seems to get on you about that, right?
Oh yeah, I should delete it because it probably sucks, bro. That thing.
Man.
Yeah, but I remember at a point like, I tried to do like see what comes up on Google. The Twitter kept popping up. I'm like, yo, why? Like I don't say.
What the hell am I doing on here?
I don't say shit on there. But yeah, like Instagram allows you to not say anything, which allows you to practically be just a brand.
Yeah, you could just post a couple emojis for the caption, and it's just like boom,
Yeah.
But in a weird way, it's like all the success posts. In a way, it's just your life.
It is.
It just that's what your life looks like. It's different if you're getting these random drops of success and you're just flossing them really hard, like a lot of people who are like trying to seem like they're doing it are.
Yeah.
But when it's your life, it's just your freaking life.
And that is true because some of that stuff is success, but some of it is not what people assume it is, right? It's my life, but also, yeah, if I'm painting Yeezys this day and I'm doing Neiman Marcus that day or I'm doing this that day and I'm still not rich, what does that tell you? Yeah, it's just my life. I'm just, you know what I mean? It's not like as crazy as you think it is either. So when I'm posting Yeezy, yo, I'm painting Yeezys. Yeah, I got paid, but it's not probably what you thought I got paid. Yeah, like the situation is this. Yeah, I knew somebody who now I get some Yeezys probably at a better price than you. Like, but it's not, and like, wait, I got free Adidas. I'll say that.
I hope so.
That's just dope.
I'd have been trying to take some Yeezys home.
I even got Adidas for my friends. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
But so that part is rad, but that is what you think.
Hey, I mean that's just part of the game right there.
Yeah.
Come on.
That part you got right, but like it's not as like I should post because it is my life, and it's not. I still have problems, you know what I mean? So why not be proud of the parts that are successful?
Yeah.
But wait, this chai tea is getting to me. I gotta take one more leak and I'm done. I promise.
Yo, it's cool, man. It's cool. He's a crazy drug. I feel it. This is funny. This is definitely a record for most pee breaks I have had on a podcast. I don't think I've ever had one, but I have two. But he wised up and he took the scooter, the hallway razor scooter, because in the studio building, the hallways are just like long and narrow. And I may or may not have taken the scooter from the daycare below us. Shout out daycare, but I'm looking out for the kids. I don't want them to fall and bust their head. So when he gets back here, we'll continue this conversation. But yo, this is going so well. Chris is a super, super cool dude. Yeah, I love how much he's just been opening up. I'm really enjoying this. It's actually called a plinth, but that's cool. No, it's not bizarre. It's just literally it's called a plinth.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it blew my mind too, dude.
No clue what that is.
Yeah, no. Those like white things. I randomly found them a bunch in this like trash dumpster. I got like two small ones. I have this big one over there, and that one out in the hallway. And I think I've used them like once.
What do you do with that?
What do you mean?
What is that for?
I thought I was gonna be like putting products on it.
Oh, that's what I thought it was.
Having models like sit on it and stuff.
Right.
But to be completely honest, I just haven't used it at all.
Okay, I was wondering. I thought it was like a shelf that I was gonna try to make it into one of those.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's like a pseudo shelf. I ain't doing nothing.
No, but I wanted a pedestal, like, or whatever you call those things. So that's what I've been trying to find the term so I can buy those things.
Dude, you can't buy them. You have to make them. You can't buy them. You gotta make them.
No wonder. That's crazy.
Yeah, I found them in the trash and I just painted them white.
Yeah.
Dude, I actually tried building a wooden box. Like I built a cube.
Yeah.
That was the hardest fucking thing in my life, dude.
You would
like,
think it's mad simple.
Dude, it was so hard. So I bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces, right?
Yeah.
I put 4 of them together. I go to put the top on. Turns out that's not how math works. Like when you put 4 thick pieces of sides together.
Yeah.
Think about it. If they're all the same
big,
size,
right?
it's too big than the top.
Yo, that's crazy.
I was like, I thought I was going crazy. And I was like hammering this shit in. And so I was sitting there, I'm like, why isn't this working?
Falling right through it.
Yeah, no, it just wasn't big enough. So I was just like, I'm like, what am I doing? So like I take it off and try like shifting it and stuff. And I just realized I'm like, I'm an idiot. Like the surface area just gets bigger by a little bit.
I would have done the same thing. I would have bought the same size.
I was blown, man. I did not think about that.
That's crazy. Because I've been trying to think about building this pyramid like that, right, out of wood. And I kind of thought through that because I was like, yo, if each side, one of them's not going to line up because they're all the same size. I'm going to have to have one be a little longer. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're building a pyramid for what? Just build a pyramid?
No, yeah, man, because I'm going to build a pyramid and worship it. You know, I'm trying not to be the
intern Illuminati stuff.
Yeah,
man.
I'm trying to step up the rank, man.
Do what you got to do, man.
I don't want to be an intern anymore.
Yeah, pyramid tattoo?
Nah, but yo, the dude just got he got my pyramid. Huge on his back, shoulder to shoulder.
No, what?
I've never posted it because...
How do you not post that?
I didn't post it because... Hey, get ready for this. This is the first time I'm saying this, right?
Okay.
And this is why I haven't posted, because I haven't said this yet. No, because I'm a tattoo artist, right?
Oh, you are?
And I've never put it out there because what happened? I apprenticed before I ever went to art school.
Oh.
So I've taken long breaks from this, right? So I'm mad rusty at times, right?
Yeah.
So and a lot of people hit me up to ask, can another artist tattoo my work? People hit me up from all over the country about that, right? And I'm like, yo, let me see the artist, and I pretty much always say no because I'm like, yo, I don't want somebody else doing it. I know how to tattoo, right? But I'm just I haven't so far had the time to like sit down with it and make sure I'm like. And just sit down with an artist I like and just say, yo, like, brush me up. Let's put me back through it, you know? So, like, that guy got the tattoo and I gave him the permission. He's the only person I ever gave permission because I was setting up this show in New York and he worked there. And the company was being so great to me that he was like, he asked me and, like, I'm just like, yo, they were being so good to me. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, bro. Do it. So I didn't post it because, like
across his whole back?
His whole back, bro. Yeah, and I didn't post it because I will post. I might as well post it today or whenever this comes out. I'll post it, right? Just so people can put 2 and 2 together.
You're gonna be wondering about this now.
Yeah,
I want to see it.
Well, I didn't post it because like I don't want people to just start going and doing and getting like getting my work tattooed on.
What do you mean? It's like a walk-in mural.
Well, but I'd rather do it myself because that artist did do it different.
Oh, it doesn't look exactly like yours.
It's never going to.
It's like a little derivative, I guess.
To someone else, it might look just like mine. To me, I see where it's not mine.
Of course,
right?
naturally.
So, and I'm like, the thing is, I could have just told everybody, yeah, I'll just do your tattoo, and they go crazy, like, what? You didn't know you? But like, it's gonna be a little bit of time, at least like 6 months. You know.
So you think you're gonna get back into doing it?
I have to, just because I get so many requests,
Do
bro.
like a week of tattoo requests?
Yeah, you know, I'm just gonna like probably just take times out of the year or when I'm in certain cities and just dedicate it and say like, yo, like if you want it, I'm here.
Dude,
you know?
I love when people do tattoos at like art pop-ups. That'd be kind of crazy, huh?
That would be fire, bro. That would be,
You know, like people getting like those flowers, like the small ones, like a small pyramid and stuff.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
That'd be hella tight. I saw, you know who Luca Sabat is?
That name's familiar.
He's like this young guy. You guys have like a lot of similar. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, you guys have like a lot of similar swag. Just like
okay,
like the cool crazy hair swag, like artist. And he has this thing called oh my god, Hot Mess, and they did a photography pop up exhibition, and they were sponsored by North Face. And so in this North Face tent, they had like 4 tattoos you could choose from. Okay, and so people were just going in there getting tattoos of their shit, and I'm just like, oh my god, that is so fucking cool.
Maria does that. Like she worked with another artist who's well known. I forget his name. And she did like I told you she does these installations with these big brands. Mm-hmm. She did one of them. I think it was Super Dry and that artist, something like that. Yeah. But like she was like, "Oh, you should do this." Well, how do you spell his name?
Luca Sabat.
Luca.
Yeah, it's Luca or Luka. You could even just put Sabatt like his last name. There's no way he doesn't pop up first.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, this thing ain't working. I don't get service here.
Oh yeah, we're in like a dungeon, dude.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man. So I haven't posted it, but I'm trying to do like a little video of us, even though I can't post it right now.
Just live on the podcast, just like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah. You can't see the audience. You guys, you're not in this video.
What's up?
But yeah, man, I haven't posted it because I know people are like going to immediately jump on my back about that. Like, oh, yo, shit, you do tattoos, you know? And I don't want to like be like, yeah, in 6 months. You know what I mean?
Is that how it goes for you? Like everything you post, people just jump on it?
Bro, if I show you my DM thing, well, I will show you but I don't have service, right? Yeah. I've never found the bottom of it.
Really?
I've tried to show people and just like, yo, it's crazy. But I realized every time I show people, it's like weeks in between. And it's crazier because it's more DMs. I talk on there. That's why I tell people like, yo, if you don't text me, DM me or call me. Because DM's really like my text message.
Same. I think it's like that for everyone.
Is it? Okay.
It's like text messaging, but better.
Yeah, because it's visually more pleasing. You see a face to it, right? Like,
yeah, you can send a photo real quick.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want. And you can mention people. It's like,
yeah, it's cool, bro. It's cool. So yeah, like my DMs are crazy because I talk back to everybody.
I respect, man. That's really cool.
Well, I mean, bro, why wouldn't I? Like, to me, like, yeah, right now, like you're right. People are seeing like this hometown hero type of like vibe, right? To me,
coming back, showing love,
right?
The rounds.
To me, I'm the guy who lost a bunch of shit because I wasn't here. So I'm like, I'm just trying to hang with my niece, let her play with my hair, and like, yo, it's holiday time came around. I'm trying to be a better family man, bro. To be honest, which Reef convinced me to come out for that big pop up. He's like, everybody knows you, bro. Everybody wants this, and so I'm like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, and people came out and people showed love. So like that convinced me to kind of step out more. And now I had already booked that conference. They booked me a while back, but that momentum and then I went to Trezzo's events, and like a lot of people, they had known who I was, but they got, even like you, they got to talk to you, you know, and people like that, like people who, even people like you, I heard about you, you heard about me, we got to meet, and so it's kind of just interesting. It's kind of interesting, realizing like even the guy I just met when I was getting the chai tea, you know what I mean, and who already knew what I was doing. And now we were talking DMs just now, you know?
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so like, that's what I mean. Like, to me, I'm still a guy living everyday life, right? I still have a lot to figure out, bro. So like, while other people may see this hero, I need heroes in my life, bro. So like, I'm just, so when someone reaches...
So who do you look up to? Like, who do you look... I mean, I guess besides family, I mean, unless that really is a big one, like, who... I
don't even look up to family. It's funny. Like, I looked up to my grandfather, and that's kind of like, was it. Maybe my uncle a bit, but we're distant now. So like, bro, that's one thing I like. I don't really, and especially the path I have chosen, or that kind of has chosen me too, is a little of both. Then there's no path there's not like, yo, I hey, I want to be an electrician. So let me like go to this school or let me like Google how, at least YouTube, how people fix shit.
There's a clear path for that.
Right.
You know exactly the process.
Exactly.
It's safe. It's very safe.
Yo, there's no like, I talk to guys like Reef. I talk to guys like Wes, my team. Like, even talking to you, like I talk to other creative people, right? Or people who really are invested in what I do saw me at a certain point in my time and told me to go for it.
Mm-hmm.
I reference them again. I'm here now. You told me to do this. Where do I go from here? You saw it. So now where you see it going, you know? So like, I don't, to be honest, who do I look up to come off the top of my head? I don't think there's anybody, bro.
Hey, that's an answer.
You know what I mean? I like a guy like Kanye, how he's crossed.
That's controversial.
I know. Don't ever say you like Kanye West, right?
God. Yeah. Dude, I like Kanye. To be completely honest, I love controversial people, and so I love
right,
Kanye.
right. Oh, yo, so you really love Kanye?
I mean, he says what's on his mind.
Yeah.
Whether you agree with
exactly.
it or not.
So I mean, well, you know, I think Kanye. I think Kanye's one of those people who it was like when we were doing Model Citizens, right? We could have easily become like the people who could have like. It's as a pioneer, you're gonna go two ways: a villain, or you're gonna be lost in history, right?
Ooh, one seems way better than the other.
And
actually, both seem kind of.
Well, see, that's why, like, in order to not get lost in history, you have to tell people what you pioneered. But people don't want. Now you look like a villain. So, like, Soulja Boy right now,
That's literally just crossed my mind. Like, literally, I was watching that last night. Soulja Boy's coming out. He's like, I gave Lil Pump his name. I gave Juice WRLD his name.
And but look at it, and like, yo, he has the facts to back it up. And so he's accepted the villain role, right? But he said for a while, I didn't say any of this.
Yeah, people thought he fell off.
And people thought he fell off,
That's
right?
so true.
There you go. So it's Kanye is just refusing to let you think he fell off. He's refusing to be lost in history.
That's smart.
Right? And so yeah, he's the villain. He's even the villain to Nike, which made Adidas huge. So he's Kanye is an institution, man, right? He's more than a human being. He's
You're sorry. It's him being a villain that makes people even talk about him.
Yeah.
When you say his name, it's either hate or love.
Yeah. And how many people, let's say, have probably done what he's done, or to a certain extent, we don't know their name. Exactly. Well, they're probably.
Oh, we don't know their name.
Yeah. See,
well.
I bet you there's been a couple people. I bet you there have. We won't know. That's the thing. They got lost in history. If they are, they were lost because they were playing the good guy.
Yeah, they were playing. Oh, I don't want the credit. I don't want to do this.
I'll give you one.
Okay.
But we know him because luckily he was good at something else.
Okay.
Pharrell Williams. Pharrell has done everything Kanye already did.
Yeah, and he's like the happy route.
Yep, he's done everything that Kanye did.
Super nice guy.
So what do you think of Pharrell? You think music, right?
Pharrell could have used a Taylor Swift moment a couple times, you know?
Well, he's still winning, but he's not getting recognition for all the things he's pioneered. Everything Kanye complained about, Pharrell already did a collab with Louis. He already did all these things. But yeah, you're like, nobody
but you
remembers.
don't know it.
Right.
When Kanye does it, you know it forever.
Exactly. The only reason you know Pharrell is because something else worked where he pioneered and he got, like, somehow he got the credit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's not getting credit for a lot because he's playing the good guy route. And he doesn't want to get on people's nerves. But he could have easily, what if he came out when Kanye was complaining about Louis and all this stuff and said, I did it. And then he would have been the asshole. Right?
Yeah,
So
but
it's
two
like,
assholes going back and forth.
Exactly. But, you know, I don't think Pharrell's okay with being the asshole. You know what I mean? So that's the difference. Kanye is. You know what I'm saying?
But that's different. I mean, do you think you're the villain at some point?
Yo, me and Reef were talking about this, bro. And you know what? I think
trying to be the villain.
You know what? I think maybe I can easily fall in the Pharrell category, right? Where like
I agree.
I will be known for something, but probably not for like nobody knows that I was kicking down the door for like I don't know if you've ever heard of a Cool Klux Klan or like Sir EU and those guys. So Sir EU, he's a rapper. Like,
no, the what clan?
Sir EU,
the Cool Klux.
Cool Klux.
Oh man, I was like, it's different. If a white dude said that, I'd be like, oh,
no, but they went
different.
They went with KKK to make some noise, right?
Oh my god.
But like Armel, one of like the producers, like he's a model right now, and he modeled my brand recently. But
Nice.
he modeled with North Face. He's dope. Go check him out. He's also a dope producer, but some of that might be getting lost right now.
Just go like that with the micro quick. Just like bend it towards your mouth.
Okay.
There you go.
So some of that might be getting lost right now because he's succeeding. It's like Pharrell, right? He's a fashion pioneer too, but that's lost, right?
That's so true. He is.
So like Sir, I brought these guys up to say when I first met them, they were fans of what we did. Or Sir, I can't speak. I don't know if the whole camp was, right? But Sir, you told me about this. He very much when I see him, he brings up Model Citizen. It's funny because everybody else around him probably knows me for what I do now. But they were like the next generation. They also end up going to AI after me, right? And they like took it further. But that's also when Future was out and stuff like that. So like that's I'm probably like in the Pharrell sense, where like I'll be known for something that keeps me happy enough, right? But there's probably a lot of stuff that I probably like will have maybe done that nobody knows about. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't like shouting it down.
Do
Do
you want all that attention though?
Well, the thing is, I don't like acting. I don't
No,
really
no, no,
like
no,
making
no, no,
music.
no, no,
Yeah.
not that stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
like by being the villain, you're basically just being loud about your accomplishments.
Nah, I really don't care, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Because how I see it is like what I'm doing now is what I always really wanted to do.
So you don't mind being lost in time.
And that's probably Pharrell too. He probably loves music. Fashion was probably just the thing, you know what I mean, that he went through,
Mhm.
right? But music is probably so. But Kanye, all these things are his passion. He's a moment, you know. His passion is kicking the doors down. I think that's what his passion is. You know, what Pharrell's passion probably was music, and then he did fashion because he got into fashion,
Mhm.
and he's like, okay, that was dope. I'm back in music. That's like me. Like I could say, like, yo, I'm an actor. I'm a musician.
Design.
My ex-girlfriend is huge. My ex-best friend is huge.
I see what
right?
you're saying.
Like, yeah, maybe it's not accomplishments, but it's just things that if people knew this about me. Oh, here's a big one. People don't know this, right? Like when I left DC, right, and went to New York, I became a comic book artist. I worked for this company that's responsible for Walking Dead. I had a production deal on the table with Fox Television, right? I did all this at a mad young age. These are things that are lost in time.
Dang.
You see what I'm saying? Because I don't really care enough about them to be like, yo, like, you need to know this about me. But they do very much make up what I did and how I draw.
They're important part, like stepping stones in your career.
Huge, bro. And like I can say the reason why I can draw the way I do and effortlessly and it's a combination. I can draw I can draw anything, absolutely anything, right? I'll draw it in my style, but I can draw absolutely anything, right? From any angle, from anything, right? That's not an issue. I can also draw in front of people, murals and all that, right? Because I acted and I worked.
You're not scared of it,
yeah. And I worked in illustration where I did 3 kids books. My first job in college, thanks to like having some Ethiopian in me, like this Ethiopian woman came off the street looking for an artist in art school, saw me, like didn't even look at anybody else, asked me for my portfolio and hired me. So I did an Ethiopian kids book, and I did 2 kids books, right, with an author of like that was a close. It's a weird situation, right? Did 2 kids books, right? And he's a dope author. Look him up, Alberto Moreno. And those books I'm proud of. They're on Amazon, right? The 2 kids books I can't even tell you how many comic books I worked on. I was a colorist for comics. I did a lot of work.
But this stuff's cool though. Like talking about it doesn't make you seem like a villain. I think it's like cool things that people who are interested in like you and interested about your brand just want to know.
Yeah, but you know, if I was just like upset that people like, let's say like, yo, I keep going and I keep getting bigger. Let's say if I just got bigger in fashion,
Okay.
I'm like, people just know me for that, and I'm like, yo, you guys don't know I turned down a deal with Fox, so
I did murals.
yeah, and I'm like, because I still care that much about that stuff just as much. I think Kanye cares just as much about music as he does his shoes, as much as if he does video games or whatever. I think it all matters just as much to him. Like Pharrell, probably not as much, right? Me, not as much. Like right now, what I like is like I like to tell the story I'm telling with flowers and pyramids and there's a story there. I'm telling it, and I'm liking the interaction with the audience because I'm telling it through murals, through clothes. It's a narrative. What I learned through comics was how to tell a story.
Oh, so you know how to tell a story visually.
And I also did storyboarding. I worked like at Fox, like so. When I'm talking about film, like I worked very close with storytelling in general, bro.
Yeah, it's really interesting because when I was doing research on you at 4 a.m., I was like, literally just using Instagram. I wasn't Googling anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, does he just draw flowers and pyramids? But then I'm like, no, he doesn't. I'm like, this dude's really talented. I was like, these are just kind of like the brand essentially.
Yeah. That's kind of like I said, like the pyramid is a different story, but like, they kind of collide, right? There's a point in my life where say one of those people I lost them twice, right? So the first time I lost them, right? Like the flowers came out. because it's like a self-imposed exile sometimes, right? Like I've come to a point where like I've had someone who really supported me who as an artist, but also in a personal way, right? And for her, that's a conflict at the end of the day because like yo, she may say like yo, like go chase this job across the country, but then as my significant other, it's like damn, you just left me across the country.
But, like you love her.
Right. So like you got like
that's a hard one.
Right, but
it's like selfless and selfish at the same time.
But it's fire, bro. Like, and I gotta thank the stars. Like, I ever experienced that, right? So, like, because she would allow her, she's an artist. She would allow her an artist side to be bigger every time, which is what will make her, our relationship suffer, especially for her, right? Because she needed things, but she was putting them on the back burner. And you're telling me as an artist who's like, I'm an artist, bro, right? I grew up as an artist. I never like ever needed validation. Like I was told an artist since I was a little kid, you know? So like, it's just a type of person to me. That's just who I am. It doesn't matter if I do it for a living, right? It's something I can't ignore. So if you tell me as someone who like, when I'm not professionally an artist, it's because I'm hiding art. I'm hiding from art. It's there always, right? So like, when I say like Katie and these people didn't know I was an artist when I was in high school, it's because I was trying to hide from it. I was trying to like, oh, my cousin's a big athlete. All my friends are athletes. I'm at this athlete school. I want to be an athlete, right? So when she tells like me to like, yo, you have to do this. That's like waking up the giant, bro. So like,
it's crazy to have someone believe in you like that too.
Yeah, but then to try to rein you in on the other end, it just don't work, bro. I'm a giant now.
And you said she was an artist too.
Yeah,
so there's that struggle of where it's like he's more successful than me.
Yo, you know what? That's the weird part. Like that never became a vocal thing, but that would suck if that existed because I'm successful, but I definitely wasn't better than her.
It doesn't matter if you're better.
Yeah.
It's success is not about skill sometimes. I feel like
You're right. And it's about an amalgam of things. And that's true, bro. Like when it comes to things, I'm pretty successful. I'm not like, I'm still an Illuminati intern, bro. So I'm not like a billionaire yet. You know what I mean?
So like, what's the difference between you and the artist who dies of silent desperation?
Well, Instagram. I don't think that happens anymore, right?
So you blew up off Instagram.
Well, you know what? This girl, I was an anti anything. She taught me to like, yo, go on Tumblr.
Oh, so you blew off Tumblr?
I did Tumblr first, and then she convinced me to do Instagram because I started going viral on Tumblr.
Oh,
yeah. So, and this was just random illustrations of stuff, bro. Like stuff from my childhood, '90s stuff, Power Rangers stuff like that, And but yo, to take it back, fashion was the first thing I had ever succeeded at. Because I worked for Up Against the Wall, and they ended up making me a manager at this store in Georgetown called Commander Salamander, which is like where
it's a cool name.
Bad Brains met. It's a historic store. It's the first store like Hot Topic, but
whoa!
But they had expanded so far past it that it was really just home office. It was the downstairs. They didn't care about it, but it always had a punk aesthetic that lost itself because their other brand was urban. So that at one point in time, I'm eyebrow piercing skateboard kid that they put in all the skate clothes and put me on the block. They're like,
because you're up against the wall,
right? So they're like, yo, we're gonna make you a manager at Commander Salamander. I'm like, why would you make me a manager? I'm a horrible employee, right? Like, but these are my friends who hire me, right? And they're like, because Commander, we don't care about it. We pay the rent because it's home office, and you have to look to at least keep it kind of like the myth of it alive. So I go there, and what happens is all these people keep coming, and they're like, there's like, yo, like middle-aged business women with a little streak of purple in their hair, and they're like, I live in Wisconsin now, and like I used to come to the store when I was a kid, and like, where are all the Commander shirts? And I'm like, all we had was like discount, like whatever's in it Up Against the Wall. We had the discount version, right? And
and like some studs probably.
Yeah, we had maybe some stickers that are literally still there from the '80s because in the basement it was packed with old shit, right? So like we were gradually bringing stuff up as people ask, but like they're like, what about the Commander gear? And like it didn't exist. So I'm an artist there. There's almost no foot traffic at certain times of year. I hire all my artist friends to work there, right? And besides them, there are just a bunch of art kids that went to I forget what that school is right there. But You guys know it's
the art school,
the art high school, yeah, over in by Georgetown, bro. I forget what it
whatever.
It's named after the famous dude, the singer, I think. Yeah. Anyway,
I don't know.
you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't represent you guys, but 'cause they're very prideful, and I know a lot of them now because that's an art school, and I grew up in the art.
Hit it in the comments.
Yeah, exactly. And that school rocks. But at a point they called it School Without Walls, so I at least got the nickname right, right? So yeah, it was all artistic people working there. So I would just draw, and like when I left, some of my drawings would end up being taped on the wall.
Oh, dude.
First, I got upset.
Oh,
because I'm like, yo, like again, this is me. Like I'm in art school, I'm rapping. That's more popular than people. People thought I went to art school for music. I didn't. I went to art school for animation.
it's so different than what you were doing because it's kind of contradictory.
The music just popped off in
Ah,
art school. We became like the face of the music scene in that school, and it was a production school. There were music production there. We like performed at the big fashion show for the school. They like brought us out, so we became like the face musically, right? But everybody assumed I went for music.
damn.
I didn't. So like I'm drawing again. Even though I'm in art school, I'm still kind of hiding this, right? On accident because of music, right? So at this job, they're putting it on the walls, and eventually I let them do it. I just like whatever, right? And people start trying to buy it. So I started
Whoa.
painting. I started like diving deeper into that shit.
That's what it is. Like, this is a check.
Exactly. So
All right.
it really became a check because what happened was these people keep coming asking for Commander shirts. My store manager says to me, "Hey, like, why don't you just make the shirts? You have the style everybody likes." And so I go upstairs because home office of the whole company is upstairs. And I talk to them and they're like, "We won't pay you to do it, but we'll pay you commission on your stuff." So I go get them printed. I made them. They sell out. So I start doing it over and over. And I'm telling my employees, because I'm a bad manager, yo, just sell my shit. Right?
No more Commander's Commander.
Yo, that's what I was designing, Commander Salamander.
Oh.
But they weren't paying me as a designer. They were paying. It was like my own brand, but I got the benefit of having this store.
Okay, so you had a storefront in some weird way.
Basically, bro. And so that's why, like, yeah, I did comics and all this stuff, but like, you see how it's like a narrative where like things I touched on end up helping me away in the future.
Dude, yeah, it's like you look at what you're doing now, but you can always trace it back to this point where it just influences your future.
Mm-hmm. Even the earliest thing, acting, I can say that's why I give no shits about being on camera. Or painting a mural in front of like New York City. You know what I mean?
I think that's so true. I think a lot of times in life, it's like our earliest experiences shape who we are as an adult. Because
100%.
even now, like I'm a full-time photographer, this is what I want to do forever. And like, sure, I do stuff like this, you know, like it's just like anything else, like the clothes for you. I like to make content
and
stuff
you're
too.
good at it. And that's just, and that at some point, even probably now, they probably influence each other.
Exactly, but they can all almost be traced back. I did photography growing up, just film with my friends. I had a radio show back in college. Like,
yeah, see?
And now it's like, it's crazy how life manifests itself in the future.
Straight up, bro. Straight up. You think like you abandoned something, but you didn't. It's coming back around, bro.
It's still there.
Yeah, it's coming back around. That's for sure.
Dang, man. Well, I feel like we're kind of reaching the end here, man. This has been a super epic interview, dude.
Thanks, bro.
Glad you come through and just like share your story. And
bro, I have no problem sharing. I think that's kind of what I'm here for.
Oh yeah,
storytelling. I told you.
You're good at it, man. I've been enjoying this.
Thanks, bro.
It's cool. It's like hearing about your life and everything you've been up to. I guess real quick before we sign off here, is there anything coming up or anything you're doing that you want anyone listening to kind of be a part of or maybe check out or anything like that?
Yeah, so I have an exhibit coming up in Miami and Wynwood on February 9th. I'm opening the pyramid pop-up, which I'm building that pyramid.
Oh, that's what it
that's
is.
the real reason I'm doing that.
Okay.
By the way, I'm not an Illuminati intern. Like but I know you guys, people really think that. They ask me
someone
that
out
shit.
there is like, oh,
people
that's
ask me
why.
that shit. Like a kid ran across one of my murals and slapped each little pyramid and was like, Illuminati, Illuminati. I'm like, yo, that's crazy.
What?
But yeah, nah. So we're my pyramid with pride. Don't worry. I'm not in the Illuminati.
Okay, so it's not Illuminati.
No, but it's a little bit of being from Africa, bro. I'm trying to take our monuments back. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I have a pyramid pop-up coming up in Miami, and then following that, I think I'll be bringing my biggest show yet, Dream Bigger, which I had in New York I'll be bringing that to DC.
Yo.
Yeah, we're working on finalizing the location now. That should be around, like, my birthday is March 7th, so bring gifts because that should be like March 10th, right?
Nice.
And then I do have a solid show lined up at Home DC on March 16th and 17th.
Is it a silent show?
No, solid. No,
Solid.
I was saying Dream Bigger is kind of like most likely gonna happen that time, the week before this, but I definitely have that show at Home DC. Home DC, that's already booked on March 16th and 17th, and that will be like more intimate, like almost like an unplugged. So
yeah, it's a very small setting. It's very intimate.
So you're gonna like Dream Burger is more like that thing becomes a party.
Yeah, that
right?
sounds like a lit time.
Yeah, that becomes a party. Free food, free drinks, free everything. Right, even home free drinks, but like home is gonna be more like intimate vibes. So like if you want to get involved with that, like jump on that more early because there'll only be a certain amount of people allowed in that.
Oh, you're ticketing it.
Yeah, I think they're ticketing it, and it's probably like kind of a ticketed, but also appointment. Like still only a certain amount of people.
Oh,
at
home.
time.
At home.
Yeah, at home.
Oh yeah, because that place is.
Yeah, Dream Burger is like an RSVP type of thing, and then we give you the location, you know? But yeah.
Oh, dang, that's cool. It's like an underground warehouse party, except underground art show.
Yeah, and it has like I always like release like a little fashion capsule. We do like a weird fashion. You should come, man. You should be part of it.
No, I'm coming. Yeah, and if I can be part of it, dude, please let me know. Like,
yeah, we usually have a bullpen of photographers, like, because we have a fashion show in it. So we like give you guys a spot to where you can pick your spot early, and then you know what I mean.
Bro,
like,
I'm there. Literally, say no more. Well, anything I can do.
There we go.
I mean, I'd like to not just be a bullpen photographer, you know.
Oh no.
Well, more spotlight than that.
Yeah, no. Like definitely. Like I'm trying to work with you now, man. I think I asked you to work with me, you know, as a trade off for this.
Yeah. You hustled me, man. Like, Shay, I do some product photography after this. Like, dang, God, I can't say no.
Yeah, man. I like your work though. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Reef. I asked Reef. I was like, "Yo, you think he'll like be cool up to that?"
Nah, dude, that's 100% fair. Cool, that's 100% fair. I had no problem. Even if we weren't doing this, I still would have done it.
That's right, bro.
Yeah, that's all good, man. But I have to ask this question before we go, because I see a lot of artists in the DC area trying to come up, trying to do big things, trying to get to where you are, being able to travel,
trying to dream bigger.
Yeah, dude. Like, do you have anything to say to them?
Well, yo, don't let people discourage you. Remember, I was that skinny jean kid before that was cool. I was like really beat up by this area. You know what I mean? And now those same people show me love. So yo, I say stick to your gut instinct. Well, first ask yourself, do you trust yourself? And if you trust yourself, then trust your instinct. If you don't trust yourself, find out why, clear that up. You need your instinct in this. You really need your instinct, bro. When all that shit happened to me in Miami, my instinct told me, common denominator, you lost everybody because you couldn't get to DC. Go have some business in DC so you can call and get a plane ticket anytime you need. You know what I mean? So like, and here I am. Now I get dream bigger and like, you know what I mean? I mean, we're doing this podcast. That's just, yo, like, figure out how to get to where you can trust yourself and you feel like, yo, you got a strong grip on what you want to do. And, yo, just listen to that. You know, also, people who believe in you, don't just worry about, oh, this guy's a muralist. Let me try to get his approval or his validation. Yo, like, the people who don't do anything you do, but they believe in you, whether it's your best friend you grew up with, smallest people in the world, right? Yo, keep them around you, bro. Like, eventually give them a spot, you know, in what you do because, like, yo, I don't know muralists. I know no muralists. You know, I know people in fashion, but, like, what I'm probably the most consistently doing all time of year is murals. And, like, I don't know any muralists. You know, it's the people around me who believed in me that, like, I talk to and I reference. And so, yo, don't always seek validation in your field. Go to, if it's whoever's your cheerleader, man, talk to them more.
Oh yeah,
you know,
trust yourself and pave your own lane, man. Just just go with it.
Straight up, and you know this
advice.
And you know this area is changing fast about this type of stuff. I see. I get to talk about it now. I get to talk to these people on conference and shit.
It's a whole other conversation. We didn't even have that part. I didn't get to talk to you about that DC
people
stuff.
People are really asking me, bro, like, how you do? You know, like, yo, years ago, I went to New York because nobody gave a fuck about this shit. You know what I mean? And now they do. It's like, so, yo, you're in a better spot than me, you know? Go out there and just, like, network. It's a small city, though. So don't be afraid to go out and come back. That helps you kind of separate yourself from the pack. And then also, I'll give you this. There's a thin line between fans and haters, right? Haters feel like they're close enough to take your success personal, right? If there's somebody who always knew me, right? Knew me growing up. Some of the people who I knew from the past are also the people who don't really talk to me and don't show up to my shows.
Damn.
It's the people who were like distant that show up and are proud. But the people who were close to me back then or part of the music process and stuff, they're hardly at my stuff. And it's because they might take it a little personal, or it may be almost like looking in the mirror when they see like, yo, damn, I had all the opportunities this dude had. So my success kind of can hurt their feelings.
Yeah.
Which it shouldn't, you know, but like, and I like, bro,
it's
like
nature.
You guys are all talented. Like, you guys are all a big reason why I did this if you're listening. But yo, you got to remember that. Like, how many people, let's take Kanye, for example. How many people in his life, if they were talking to him every day or something like that, would be jealous of him, right? But the fact that they're not and they haven't seen this guy in 20 years, they're just proud of him, right? It's different. When you have a certain type of distance, people allow themselves not to feel hurt by your success because it's like,
it's interesting.
Right, I didn't go to Miami. I didn't go to New York. So he did things I didn't do, so I'm proud of him. But it's like, yo, we came from the same place. We did all the same things, and you're just better than me? Or why are you succeeding and I'm not? So, like, yo, sometimes you got to get distance from even your friends. Like, don't get afraid of that.
Distance isn't a bad thing.
No, sometimes, like, not in this type of field, because sometimes you have to show people that, like, yo, there is a difference between me and you. Like, I'm not afraid of this, and I do this. And then, like, there's some people who at a point, like we're like, yo, you're brand new, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Because I stopped talking to them as much. I'm in New York. I'm focused.
Salty about that.
Right? But then those same people, after that distance, they're like, yo, I'm glad you did that shit.
Respect.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Exactly.
See
because
you there,
right. Because there was enough distance in between for them to admire instead of me being a reflection of what they did wrong.
Yeah, when you're too close to them, it's like they can see it too much.
And it's like, yo, you're what they did wrong.
That's interesting. I never thought about that.
Yeah, yeah. So, yo, don't be afraid to get distance on this place or the people in it. And like, yo, they'll be better off for it.
Oh, yeah. Well, guys, that was epic as hell. I'm glad I asked that question. That's it. That's the angle.
Audi 5000.
Peace. That's it.
Dope, man.
Yeah, we got a photo.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Hell yeah, hell yeah.